What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. The other day, I got an email about this Twitter exchange or Twitter post that Tariq Nasheed posted up. And Tariq Nasheed is huge on Twitter. There's a lot of people who follow him. He's one of the more larger African-American influencers in the country. And outside of being, creating films and the like, Tariq Nasheed also is known for his days of being a dating coach. And I believe that also coincided with some of the hatred that he received from black feminists about his work and commentary at the time, which is why he has had some interesting battles on social media with people like Feminista Jones, and of course, one of the more popular black feminists, Brittney Cooper. Now, Dr. Brittney Cooper is known as a black female intellectual. She's also very popular in hip hop feminism. She's a PhD from the great Emory University. And she's a very smart lady. No doubt about it. She's an academic. I don't discredit people that are academics, even though I don't agree with them. But the tweet that Tariq Nasheed posted about what she said, it leaves a lot to be desired, all right? Now, not only as being very educated, Brittney Cooper is severely on the left. And she has a message for black men who don't want to vote for Biden, right? And she says this: "Take music! I'm reminded that in the 19th century, black women used sex strikes to make sure that brothers didn't vote against black interests. Which is to say, there's always been this rogue black men element among us. And sisters have always been on point. Anyways, I've said enough today." Now, Tariq Nasheed talks about this. Dating music, Democratic operative Brittney Cooper said if black men don't vote for Biden and Kamala, she's going on a sex strike against us. Who's ready to cross that picket line? Oh boy, that was interesting. Give Tariq Nasheed a round of applause for that. But see, Brittney Cooper is, let's just deal with the argument. I'm not going to deal with a lot of ad hominems in this because sometimes I want to use the remaining intellectual capacity that I may have. And I want to talk about the 19th century. In the 19th century, if black women used sex strikes to make sure that brothers didn't vote against black interests, if that was the case, and I believe what she's saying is there's always been that rogue black male element among us. Well, then explain if sisters have always been on point in their voting, because the black men are rogue voters, then those who vote like Brittney Cooper should have substantial evidence of the beneficiary of voting for the Democratic Party and what it has done for black America if sisters have always been on point. If that's the case, because Brittney Cooper is an intellectual, she's an academic. And when you make phrases like this, as academics, because the interpretation of black interest will vary from one person to another. I am a person that is considered a pro-black. You may clarify me as B1. What are black interests? Because your black interests could be much different than mine. And what makes black interests correct or not? That's something that must be clarified. And for Brittney Cooper, if that is her position, then Brittney Cooper needs to provide data that the black community, because sisters have been on point, it has developed from here to there. We should have tangible results. In any goals, there should be results. And results should prove the hypothesis of what one is trying to get across. That's the only thing I would ask from Dr. Brittney Cooper. Where are these results? And what are these black interests you're talking about that sisters have been on point with, that we can tangibly show that the black community is in a different place or a better place than aforementioned before, they started voting for whatever they were. Like what's the progress? Dr. Cooper will have a difficult time showing me this. And basically, talking about with regards to the sex strike, that she had to have a sex strike to make sure that black men didn't vote against black interests. Well, then I'm trying to say this because black men also vote heavily for the Democratic Party, and they're not anymore. Which means that if that's the case, if there's a rogue element, let's explain why that rogue element and why it doesn't work today. The reason why that element doesn't work today is because black men would have more options. Black men had options then, just not as much as they do now. And if they had a rogue element to vote against a different interest, that doesn't mean that they were wrong. That just means they had a difference of opinion. And see, this is the problem with a lot of women on the left. The issue is that it should be done the way that they want it done. And there is no type of conversation that, that black women want to have that think like Brittney Cooper with black men, because it's either going to be their way or the highway. It's only them. And if it's not what you're going to do, then we're going to withhold sex from you. That's what they want to be able to say. Now, they can't do that now. And the reason why is there's too many options and too much interracial dating going on in America. So if black women decided to do this sex strike, it will fall on deaf ears almost immediately for a good portion of them. The situation is that what they want men that they can control. That's what Brittney Cooper wants. Brittney Cooper wants somebody that she can control. And the problem is this: you cannot control black male thought. And it just goes to show that, like Obsidian would say, what black men want is different. What black women want is different. And a lot of times we don't see politics or the black community in the same light. We don't see that. We don't see it in the same light. And you know what? For somebody like her to blame black men for not seeing the black community in some way is another issue of, well, you're blaming black men for the problem. Okay, well, if 90% of the Democratic Party are women and they carry the majority of the vote, you've been getting what you wanted for that. And that rogue element that you want to control, that rogue element probably has some sense. See, this is the issue they have with Ice Cube, a person who thinks for themselves. See, that's the issue. And I'm sorry, black men are just not going to do that anymore. I think that many times black men have done that and they have failed horrendously. Black men are starting to look out for themselves. Because the thing about it is, and whenever black community stuff is involved, it's never about how it helps black men. It's always about how it helps black women. When black women go to vote their politics, it's about what benefits them, not black men, and they expect that black men should vote as they vote and not have a mind of their own. And if you do try something like a sex strike now, it'd just be laughable. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. And I appreciate you for all that you do also. Check out the first comment to the top. And guys, it's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. Check out the Black Men Perfect t-shirts. Guys, subscribe with the bell. Peace.